Welcome to Vanishing Gates. I'm Jay, and these are... really?
I got smoke in my eye, Jack.
And Katie Cat.
Anyway, welcome to the show this week. We're going to continue.
Never go to sleep.
What?
The shirt.
My shirt. Never go to sleep.
You just want to bring
Nightmare on
attention
Elm
to your
Street.
chest. We see. Okay,
Sleep
we
kills.
get it. Yeah, censor bar for you. So, when asked why Appalachia is so paranormal, Carl Lindell, folklorist at the University of Houston, replied of Appalachia, "It's easier to get overwhelmed by the grandeur of nature because of the intense saturation of natural landscape. And thus we continue our series on the things that go bump in the Appalachians."
Bump.
Yes.
Bump, bump.
Bump, bump,
Bump, bump.
bump, 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 bump. We should have got some music in there somewhere, but no, we didn't.
We could have done John Carpenter's The Thing at the open.
Word. So, in Estelleville or Leeds Point, whichever, New Jersey in 1735, a poor Quaker woman named Mrs. Leeds and her husband were home in their quaint log cabin in the dead of winter. Mrs. Leeds was deep in the throes of labor, and she was not thrilled. It was only months before that she had found out she was pregnant with what would be her 13th child. Finding out that she was knocked up, Mrs. Leeds cursed and proclaimed, "Let it be the devil." Now, that's out of her anger and frustration, but it's said that Mrs. Leeds was a bit of a sorceress, and it looks like she got her wish. As her labor finalized and the baby was born, but it was no ordinary baby.
Oh. My deepest apologies.
It was a devil. Dun dun dun!
Dun, dun, dun!
God, bad timing.
Can I
Always
just
with
say-
your phone.
Always
I
with
just
your
say-
damn phone.
In this conversation, so like, can I just want to like quantify here, because I'm not good with like biblical history and things like that. You know that I'm not particularly good with that stuff. But I'm just gonna go out on a limb, and I don't understand why people want to summon the devil. He neither cares nor does he want anything to do with you.
I'm just confused as to what on earth the Bible has anything to do with what was just read.
May it be the devil.
Okay, cool. She said that, but what? She was a Quaker.
It's because she was also a quote unquote a sorceress.
She was
said, "May it
pissed
be the
off."
devil." But I'm just saying that I'm really confused as to what humans like this. There's this belief around people who like tell stories about like demons and stuff like that, and they're like, it's the devil, or they're always, all the stories are always like the demon says it's the devil, and I'm really confused because I'm sitting here like, why would he waste his time doing this?
Anyway,
He's
moving
not that
on.
bored, right? Like,
I don't know, man. Moving on.
he's probably playing COD.
The baby, upon being born, it uncurled its fleshy wings, screeched, and flew up the chimney or out the window into a nearby swamp in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, which is part of the Appalachians.
It is the devil. Never mind. It's in New Jersey.
We'll get there.
Only the devil comes from New Jersey.
Well, we'll get there. For the better part of 300 years now, people have claimed to have sightings of the wing-a-ding guy through the marshes of southern New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and even Delaware, where you can be whisked away to mystical Delaware.
Delaware.
Mealy, 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 mealy. Anyway, we
We're the
need
only
to
ones who got
have
that
things
reference.
set up where the Wayne's World thing could pop in right there. It would have been great. So this creature with various descriptions, often a kangaroo-type creature, but with horse hooves and head, bat or dragon-like wings. Let's get some picturing here. Maybe. I gotta go like that first. Bat or dragon-like wings, a long serpentine or forked tail, and oftentimes said to have horns. It's said to terrorize chicken coops, slaughtering bok-boks, and destroying farms, making cows produce soured milk, cutting the tops from trees, killing the crops and ruining harvests, boiling rivers and streams, leaving his footprints in the snow, generally terrorizing people throughout at least 50 different towns around the Pinelands where he lives and spends most of his life and time making whisker baskets. Wait a second.
What are these pictures?
That's Scuzzlebutt. My bad. He has Patrick Duffy for a leg.
Oh my god.
First off,
Anyway,
I'm very disappointed because there was no Trogdor.
We're not burning any countrysides.
I'm so confused. What's going on?
There needed to be at least a little more trucking.
Well, the slideshow didn't work out the way I wanted, but it went through.
What was that bird?
Yeah,
We'll
what was
get
that?
we'll get to the bird.
I'm
Don't
so
you fucking worry
lost.
about that bird, son. We'll get there. Some say that the devil came every 7 years, and other people said that much like Moth Person, his appearance foretold bad things to come. Nobody?
If he
No?
killed people, wouldn't that be the bad things to
He
come?
didn't say kill people, he said terrorize people.
Dun dun dun. Okay, hold on.
I don't
How
think
do
you know how a
terrorize
slow
people?
clap works, sir.
How did he terrorize people?
I'm so
This
confused.
conversation, probably.
I,
Oh my god.
I'm just I'm still like I'm confused like how that kind of a creature could move around New Jersey where all the orange people come from. And
We'll get there. It's New Jersey.
Oh.
We're talking about the Pine Barrens. It's a very barren place, hence the term barren. And pines meaning there's going to be trees.
Good point.
You can't see the forest because all the fucking trees are in the way, right? Anyway, newspaper articles caused a near panic, and hunting parties or posses were formed many times to stop the beast, and various rewards have been offered for the capture of the devil, be it dead or alive. In Clayton, New Jersey, the devil was chased by a posse to the edge of a wooded area. The devil fled into the woods. The posse, afraid to pursue him, halted and declared, "If you're the devil, rattle your chains." And I have no idea why they said that or what happened after that, because that's all the excerpt freaking said when I looked it up. So do your best with that one.
So wait a minute.
What?
So they pursued him, but then stopped because they were afraid of pursuing him.
And then asked him to rattle his chains. No other description has said that he had chains, and I don't know why the devil would be rattling.
Once again,
Chains.
it brings questions I have, which is like, why does the devil have chains? What's he doing down there?
Well, the story leaves us at an end there because there's no, did he rattle his chains? It's a cliffhanger.
I personally
I think
believe,
I think whoever came up with that story is writing for Disney right now, is all I'm saying.
I personally believe he rattled the chains.
Look, there are other variations of the story, from a young girl that was cursed by a gypsy for not feeding her when she was hungry, to a Leeds Point girl that fell in love with an English soldier that was screwing over the people in that area by siding with the British, and she was cursed by the townsfolk. Anyway, both sides say that the woman was cursed into having this mutated child of doom. But there are actually some very interesting sightings recorded in history, not just these folkloric tales. Now, this is from Tyler Robinson's post on NavyHistory.org titled Sea Power, Satire,
Damn it.
and Superstition. Stephen Decatur and the Hunt for the Jersey Devil. According to a story told in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, Commodore Stephen Decatur, the naval hero most famous for his daring 1804 raid on the harbor of Tripoli, encountered the cryptid popularly known as the Jersey Devil during a visit to the Hanover Millworks, firing a cannonball at the creature to little effect. The origin of this anecdote is unclear. But Decatur is not the only prominent figure from military history alleged to have crossed paths with the Devil of the Pines. Napoleon Bonaparte's own brother, Joseph, claimed to have encountered the creature on a hunting excursion from the remote New Jersey manor where he resided for a time after being ousted from his Spanish home. And that's the throne. That's the next one. And I will link that in there, the article, which, like I said, I'll have linked in the description. It seems to point to the Jersey Devil not being a creature at all, but an amalgamation and a mockery about the Leeds family by Benjamin Franklin. It's a very cool read, so I would definitely check that out. I'll have the link in the comments, or in the description.
I actually heard the story about this one. This is literally those are both the stories I heard that I was going to bring to the table. Where those
That's why I said don't do anything historic.
I didn't know they were
Literally said don't do anything historic.
I was like, well, hey, because I know the Commodore. What was he was doing? He was doing naval exercises or something like that.
He was checking out his cannonballs for his ship.
And he wound up. What was it? The guy said he did the most American thing possible when they saw this horrible creature.
Fired a cannon at it.
And they hit him in the side.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they hit it in the side, and it did nothing but piss it off, and it went away.
Well, another story says he put a hole in it, but I was just going by what this article said from navalhistory.org.
And then I know this is off topic, but
No.
it's in my brain. I have to ask.
No.
What?
How did Napoleon die?
Well, that's another story for another time. We'll do an episode on Napoleon.
We'll do a history on Napoleon.
Some say it was the Spanish flu. Some say it was alcoholism. Others say it was the English. No one knows.
It's probably the English.
None of that's probably true. I've
Probably
just made that
English.
up off the
I
top
don't
of my
know.
head.
The English probably did it.
Anyway. Look.
Anywho.
We're not talking about just the cool Benjamin Franklin thing and how the Jersey Devil could be like a thing made up to mock the Leeds family, but we're taking the very real, obviously very real kangaroo demon creature is what we're talking about here. Look, man, all I'm saying is Schnooky's real, so is the Jersey Devil.
Wait, could Schnooky be?
Schnooky. Why'd you add an S or an H in there? It's Snooky.
Snooky. Is it Schnooky?
No.
All I know is
Snooky.
All I know is it wants smush smush.
It wants snoo snoo.
S-N-O-O-K-I-E.
Smush smush.
Snoo snoo.
That was Futurama. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Snooky wants smush smush.
I don't watch
That was
TV.
South
I never
Park.
watched
I
TV.
know. That's what I'm saying.
You said Futurama.
He was quoting
I
Futurama
quoted
with
Futurama.
Snoo Snoo.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. The Amazon Women. Right. So wait,
Good
could
God.
Snooky be the Jersey Devil?
No.
No.
But she can do backflips. She was a gymnast.
Oh.
So as retold,
Doesn't look
God.
like it.
as retold by S.E. Schlosser, this is the story of Joseph Bonaparte, Napoleon's brother. The brother of Napoleon, obviously, was king of Spain, unsuccessful in defending Spain, his own country, defending Spain against the England.
Against the English.
During the Peninsula Wars, he was forced to abdicate his throne in 1813. Following Napoleon's defeat, he went into exile in America. Good choice. Joseph purchased 800 acres in Bordentown, New Jersey, because it was between the two great seaports of New York and Philadelphia. From this place, he could obtain latest news from France and Spain. As befitting royalty, even the dethroned sort, Joseph built himself a lovely mansion with beautiful landscape grounds and plenty of parkland. Joseph Bonaparte entertained many of the great men of his day, including John Adams, the Marquis of Lafayette, and Daniel Webster. He led a very glamorous social life, throwing marvelous parties with mountains of food and many guests. The Americans were very impressed with him. Put food and booze in front of us, and we're pretty freaking impressed.
Yeah, I'm
And
impressed.
thrilled.
Yeah.
Pretty happy.
Right.
Our girth in this country should show it. One snowy afternoon, the ex-king of Spain was hunting along alone in the woods near his house when he spotted some strange tracks on the ground. They looked like the tracks of a two-footed donkey. Bonaparte noticed that one foot was slightly larger than the other, as everyone else's is in the world. Except for mine, they're perfectly the same. Not true. The tracks ended abruptly as if the creature had flown away. He stared at the tracks for a long moment, trying to figure out what the strange animal might be. At that moment, Bonaparte heard a strange hissing noise. Turning, he found himself face to face with a large winged creature with a horse-like head and bird-like legs. Astonished and frightened, he froze and stared at the beast, forgetting that he was carrying a rifle.
It was Snooky.
This is how you know he was not from America originally, because the first thought would be to shoot it. For a moment, neither of them moved. Then the creature hissed at him, beat its wings, and flew away. What a gallant creature. When he reported the incident to a friend later that day, Bonaparte was told that he had just seen the famous Jersey Devil, who had haunted the Pine Barrens ever since he was born to Mother Leeds one dark and stormy night in 1735. Bonaparte was impressed by the story of the Jersey Devil and therefore kept a lookout for the fabulous creature whenever he went hunting. Once things settled down in Europe, Joseph Bonaparte returned to Europe and was reunited with his wife in Italy. He never saw the Jersey Devil again because he wasn't back in New Jersey. From AmericanFolklore.net is what that story is from. Anyway.
What a love story.
Word. Now, so we have Wing-a-Ding guy with a horse head, hooves, and a forked tail.
I'm just gonna say, like, this. It seems like the story of him changes randomly.
Is it real or is it fake?
It's real.
I'm going to say real. To those who say it's fake, I say nay! Much like the Jersey Devil because he has a horse's head. Yeah. Hey!
Spot on.
In January of 1909, nearly 1,000 reports came in from eyewitnesses all over South Jersey. Strange tracks were found in fields, but the tracking dogs, bloodhounds, which if you know anything about tracking dogs or bloodhounds, they're not much for not following. If they get a scent, they go for it. But the tracking dogs refused to follow the tracks, and they even closed down the Pine Barren schools in the area out of fear of what was going on. Now, sometime after that, things started to slow down with the New Jersey Devil sightings. Came around to a dull until around 1927 when a Salem City cab driver, he had a run-in while changing his cab tire. He said the devil had landed on the hood of his cab and was beating the shit out of it, as one does if you're the Jersey Devil. The cab driver
Or a crackhead.
freaked out and ran the hell away. He left unscathed, called the police, but when the police got there, there were no signs of the Jersey Devil, because that's how it goes with all these cryptid creatures that are absolutely real. There's never any evidence, but they're 100% real. All of them.
That's accurate.
Anyway.
That is the truth.
In 1939, the New Jersey Devil was named the state's official demon, a title which stood until October 27th, 2017, when actor Anthony Rapp made it clear to the world that the title belonged to Kevin Spacey.
Ooh. Topical.
Anybody? Nobody? Other runners-up included Martha Stewart and Buzz Aldrin. You know the guy that faked the moon landing?
Yeah, no. It was
Nobody.
it was made by
It's
Kubrick.
like I'm talking to fucking crickets around here.
It was made by Kubrick. Anyway, why would I laugh at the truth? You're saying things that are factual. Why would I laugh? You're trying to bring humor to the truth, okay?
So, also of note here, the Smithsonian Institute and another university, I believe, were brought together and asked the scientific community, hey, what are some explanations? What could possibly be the Jersey Devil sightings if it's not the Jersey Devil? What's a scientific explanation? Answers included a pterodactyl, a peleosaurus, a pterodactyl, a pelosaurus, or maybe some fashion of marsupial. So the scientists and bright minds from the Smithsonian and other colleges and universities were tasked with this task of figuring out what people were seeing, and they came up with a big lizard-like bird that looked nothing like the description given, a tiny brontosaurus, or fucking koalas. Nice, science. People wonder why we believe in Bigfoot still. What were you thinking, science?
Oh my God.
No, it gets better. Some animal trainers at a Philadelphia zoo. Whew, man. Or at a museum, not a zoo. Animal trainers at a museum, because they have those in a museum.
Yes.
And not a
Yes,
zoo.
there's always.
That's what the article said.
The museum?
They took a kangaroo and they painted green stripes on the sumbitch and tied fake wings to it.
Ah, yes.
Really?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Rewards have been offered for the capture of the Jersey Devil. No one ever won their rewards. $100,000 at one point, $200,000 at another point, $10,000 here, $10,000 there. Yeah, to no avail. No one's ever captured it because it's totally real. Anyway. A lot of sightings are suggested to be sandhill cranes, which we'll go back to the slideshow here for a second, folks. Nope, not gonna do that. We're not gonna work. Nope, that's...
No, it is
there.
Scuzzlebutt.
Sandhill crane.
Wait, who's Scuzzlebutt's leg?
Patrick Duffy.
Oh, maybe it's Patrick Duffy.
Sandhill crane. What's a sandhill crane? It's a big-ass bird. Now, when you ask what a big-ass bird is, 4 foot tall, 15 pounds, and has an 80-inch wingspan. Well, it's huge for a parakeet, but tiny for an emu. And they're hell of aggressive when they're cornered, and they also look nothing like the fucking description of the Jersey Devil. Ever.
Science is like, you know what? Let's just start throwing darts at the fucking board. Yeah. We'll get it. We got this. They got really drunk first, and then they started throwing fucking darts and pictures on a wall. They're just like, which animal looks kind of like it? This one.
Yeah.
Sandhill crane. Perfect.
We do know, though, that the Jersey Devils, a hockey team, which were also very elusive during this year's Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you'll never find them there.
Yeah, they didn't make it to the Cup this year.
Yeah, you usually won't find you. The goalie, I believe, every team says that the Jersey Devils are a myth whenever they play them, because they never actually see them at the goal. You know what I mean?
Here's my thought: if you want to hide something and never have anyone find it, name it the Jersey Devil or Bigfoot. Now, that all jokes aside, though, people in New Jersey really do believe in the Jersey Devil, like as a thing. Well, people believe in Bigfoot out here.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we'll fight you.
We have
over this topic.
We've actually live casted from Bigfoot Days, which is not a joke.
We might be doing that this year.
Oh, cool.
So don't be busy in August.
Well, it's always on my birthday, so
it's not this year.
That's fine. But this year I won't get trapped there.
We might be live streaming from there. We might just be recording. I don't know.
I hope it would be
It's the
fun.
first time hearing about that.
I know, surprise!
It's great.
This is the
you know
joys.
what? You don't have to come. It's really nice. It's really fun, and it's cool actually. And it's always in Willow Creek. It's really beautiful out there, and it's sunny at that time. It's not
If
raining.
somebody wants to drive me out there.
Oh yeah, we'll
it's
give you
fine.
You get it right. You both got big vehicles.
Vehicles.
Car's
Mine's not
not
big.
going out there.
Anyway,
Kids, yeah.
so what do you guys think about the Jersey Devil? Like, realistically. Because
I think
people
it's a
do
crane.
believe in this, and they do have sightings. Do you think it's a crane?
I think it's
Mistaken
Snooki,
sightings?
who's an animorph and becomes a crane.
She doesn't look anything like it either. She looks more like some kind of troll. I know we're taking pot shots at the Jersey Shore staff. Or crew crew.
I'm gonna say, like, one of the things that here's what I would say is there's I'm not going to tell people out there who like truly believe that they're absolutely wrong, because there's got to be something out there that's got to explain this shit.
Yeah, mushrooms.
People, maybe drugs, maybe mental health issues.
Actually,
But
in the 1700s,
you're
it's
not
probably
talking like
toxic bread.
You're not talking like a handful of people. You're talking
No, it's a lot of people.
millions a year.
No, not millions.
No, I mean, I'm not just saying like the Jersey Devil. I'm saying millions of people a year come
cryptids and
forward
shit in here. Oh, yeah,
with
yeah.
something. Every year they come forward. People who are perfectly normal, have nothing wrong with them. Hunters who go into the woods. People who are just your average Joes. They go out in the woods and then one day they come back. They don't make YouTube channels. They tell their friend a story. They sit there and they tell their friend, oh man, I was in the woods the other day. I was sitting my blind and then I just saw this fucking thing just bolt across. And he's like, it wasn't a deer. This thing was too fast. It wasn't a bear. It was just gone. And they tell those kind of stories. Not like, oh, I saw something, but like, I just saw something that was fucking quick. And I got down because my hackles started raising. And there are people who tell stories just being in the woods. And you can, as a human, we do have like a semi-sixth sense where when danger's around, your body will pick that shit up. Like, if you're aware of your surroundings, something will tell you something is wrong and I need to fucking move. And people will tell those stories every year about going into the woods and saying, I don't know, man. I was just sitting there, and then all of a sudden I was just overwhelmed with the sensation. I got to go. And then, I left. I didn't see anything, but I left. And just stuff like that all the time. Like, those stories cannot be 100% false at all times. There has to be something. Like I say, a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Yeah.
So even if one of those stories is right, then that means there's something out there in those woods or something in the world, aliens, anything, doesn't matter. There's something that's got to be out there that we don't know. One of these creatures has to exist. Something has to exist like it, maybe. Maybe it's not necessarily one of those creatures. Maybe it's something that looks similar. Maybe it's Wildman. Maybe it's, whatever. People are confusing Bigfoot for something. But there can't be people who are perfectly normal, perfectly healthy, coming back with these stories, not trying to monetize it, but telling the story to someone who just happens to maybe retell it to someone.
Well,
and
I think what you're saying is it's kind of like that old Jim Davis Garfield joke, where the guy asked him how the picnic was, and he says, well, 1,000 ants can't be wrong.
yeah,
Because they all got on the pie. How was the pie? Well, 1,000 ants can't be wrong.
there has to be something. There, a bump in the night, a creak in your house. It can't all just be imagination. It can't all just be an intruder. It can't all just be like something you can explain. There has to be something.
Well, there's the other part
That's
of it too. There's because you want to say, well, people don't hallucinate in unison, but then you look at the ergot cases from back in the day, and you realize that people do hallucinate in unison. There are things that become societal and almost like a temporary culture. Anyway, so we're gonna end this here in a minute. And we're going to do our next episode next week. We're going to continue our series about things that happen around the Appalachians. I think we're going to do the Bell Witch. Does that work for you guys? Okay, which sounded a lot weirder when I said it that way. Before we close out, though, I do want to give a shout out to somebody here, guys. If you're into the paranormal and the strange, you like podcasts, and you like some political stuff, and you like to argue, there's a fellow named Tom Velasquez. He shows the Paranormal Patriot. Now, Tom has been going through some health issues with his wife, and they've got some unfortunate news, and he's suspending his show temporarily. But keep Tom in your thoughts, and if you want to, go check him out. He's on Facebook, the Paranormal Patriot Podcast. Any of the shows he has, just go and send him an email, tell him you're thinking of him. Listen to his shows. Go back and listen. He's going to be he didn't say he was quitting for sure, but doing a deep sabbatical anyway. So keep him in your thoughts. He's been a guest on the show a few times. I've been a guest on his a number of times. And over the years, he's a really cool guy, really nice guy. So think about him. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Please leave your comments below on what you think of these topics down there. Hit that like button. It helps the show out a lot as we're trying to grow. And we would like to put more quality into our research
That quarter.
and have slideshows that work correctly. And to do that, we need support.
Somewhere around there.
You know, just get the word out for us. If you like the show, at least, you know, follow it, hit the button that says when we're on. Check out our Facebook page. Send us an email. Tell VG your stories at gmail.com. Any of those things. Just let us know you're listening. We
And if
appreciate
you're-
you guys.
If you're on YouTube, don't forget that you actually have to click the stupid bell button and click always
the bell
notify.
button. Notify, yeah.
Yeah.
And right now we don't have a big following, so we're not getting much out. We're not getting out there very much. The more people that watch, the bigger following you get. And if you sit through the whole episode, we really appreciate you. Again, I'm Jay, and these are.
No longer smoke my agenda.
Katie Cat.
And we'll catch you next time. So, good night and good night, Mares.
Goodbye, everybody.